Let's talk about step 8 of my FIRE checklist, which is to achieve 50% savings rate to achieve financial independence. And if you're new to my channel, this is the checklist I have my clients follow to achieve financial independence. If you want to know more about how to complete first 6 steps of the FIRE checklist, you can check out the detailed videos I did, and I will link those videos in the description below. So what does it mean to save 50% of your income? It's exactly what it means. You save 50% of your income while you spend the other 50%. You've probably heard about the 50-30-20 budget rule, where you spend 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% to savings. The 50-50 budget rule is you simply spend 50% on needs and wants and save and invest 50% for long-term tax advantage retirement, taxable investment, and short-term cash reserve. The long-term tax advantage investment includes TSP, 401k, 403b, or 457, as well as IRAs and HSA. What we contribute to our long-term retirement plan is going to make an impact to our early retirement. It doesn't matter if you're on lean fire, traditional fire, fat fire, coast fire, or barista fire, or whatever the name fire you want it to be. You need to set up your long-term retirement investment accounts to achieve financial independence. I will talk more about this later on in this video. Taxable investment is where we invest our excess income to boost our progress towards financial independence. We have 2 taxable brokerage accounts, and one of them focuses on dividend investing and the other one is on growth investing. It's taxable because it's not like the Roth IRA where I sell stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, or collect dividends. We have to pay taxes on them in the same year. We'll also use our taxable brokerage account to make a down payment on the real estate property or buy cars in the future. Our short-term cash reserve is cash in our emergency fund, travel fund, or other sinking funds to fix our house or upgrade appliances. Our cash reserve is something we have an immediate access to. So we fully fund our emergency fund in step 5 of our FIRE checklist, and we just leave it alone unless we need it for emergency expenses. We also have a travel fund for international and domestic trips. We have a spending account for large annual expenses like car registrations, maintenance, insurances, birthday and Christmas presents, anniversary, and annual medical, dental, and vision expenses. By the way, you can get our free FIRE resources by visiting firesidechat.com/contact. You can also check out the Fireside Chat shop, and I have all of my stuff on my bookshelf at firesidechat.com/shopping. So here's how we prioritize our investment. We start with long-term retirement investment, taxable investment, and then the short-term cash reserve. Keep in mind that we have already completed the first 5 steps of our FIRE checklist, which is to calculate our fat FIRE number, and ours is $2.8 million, and we're looking to retire early at age 45. We have managed to fully fund our emergency fund and stay debt free. So let's first look at our long-term retirement accounts. We prioritize this because every dollar we put in today will be worth about $21 in 30 years with 10% average annual return. First one is my TSP. The maximum contribution limit for TSP is $20,500 with 5% employer contribution at $5,800. So that's a total of $26,300 into my TSP every year. If the C fund, or the TSP version of the S&P 500 index fund, continues to perform at 10% average annual rate of return, I should have about $460,000 by the end of 2031 or when I turn 45. My wife has a Nevada PERS pension plan, which she contributes about $11,300 every year with 100% match from her employer. That's an estimated total of $22,600 every year into the pension plan. By the time she turns 45, she should have pretty close to $375,000. The next one we invest in is our health savings account, or HSA. We have 2 separate HSAs, but for this spreadsheet, I'm just going to combine our contributions. We'll contribute $7,300 a year, and with 10% average annual rate of return, we should have pretty close to $110,000 by the time we turn 45 years old. The third investment is our Roth IRA. Because we exceed our income limit, we have to do what's called a backdoor Roth IRA strategy, and I will link that video in the description below. We invest $6,000 a year into our 2 Roth IRAs, so that's a total of $12,000 a year. By the time we turn 45, we should have over $540,000 invested. However, we plan to contribute to our Roth IRAs during our early retirement if we have at least $12,000 in earned income. This is probably the trickiest part because we're in our early retirement but we also need earned income to contribute to our Roth IRAs. I might just use YouTube as the source of our earned income during our retirement. I also have traditional IRA, but I mainly have it for my traditional 401k rollovers. So that's a total of $68,200 we're contributing to our long-term retirement accounts, and that's about 35% of our gross income. It's okay if you don't have HSA because not everyone is eligible to have one. If we didn't have an HSA, then we would have put that $7,300 into our taxable brokerage account. You might be watching this video and thinking, holy cow, this is way too much, and that's okay. Just use my FIRE checklist to slowly get to the 50% savings rate, starting with step 2, which is to contribute up to your employer match in your 401k or TSP. As you work your way down to step 8, you'll be surprised how close you already are to the 50% savings rate. By the way, if you want to talk more about the FIRE checklist, you can schedule a free one-on-one 20-minute financial coaching session by visiting firesidechat.com/coaching. The next investment account is our 2 taxable brokerage accounts. So for 2022, we're contributing $24,000 total in our 2 taxable brokerage accounts. We're working on increasing that amount after our wedding this year. So in 2023, we should be investing at least $50,000 a year into our 2 taxable brokerage accounts. We're hoping to have at least $1 million in those 2 accounts by the time we turn 45. The other investment accounts we have are my daughter's 529, UTMA, or the Uniform Transfers to Minors Act. We're not including those contributions and balances towards our early retirement because they're going to belong to my daughter when she becomes an adult. We also contribute to Coinbase to invest in crypto, but we don't exceed more than 5% of our net worth in cryptocurrencies. This is the money we're willing to lose if crypto loses all of their values. So we're far exceeding our 50% savings rate. And if I add everything up, we're saving about 50% of our income towards our early retirement, 5% towards my daughter's college fund, and another 10% towards our cash reserve, which I will talk about in a little bit. If you look at our FIRE checklist, we're already on step 9 by building our generational wealth. I want you to keep in mind that while we're on our fat FIRE journey and saving over 50% of our income, we know how to have fun. And the FIRE journey is not meant for you to feel stressed about saving and investing. Learn to enjoy your life while you're investing for early retirement. The last priority is our cash reserve. And like I said earlier, we already have a fully funded emergency fund, but we're looking to increase that to cover future medical and dental expenses. I will probably make a separate video about that in the future. We also have our sinking funds that will cover our large annual expenses exceeding $100 per transaction, as well as discretionary spending and travel. First sinking fund we categorize is the annual expenses. We roughly spend about $7,000 a year in vehicle maintenances, insurances, and registrations, annual credit card fees, and additional medical and dental expenses. This specific sinking fund is for any expenses we need and not want. We have the sinking fund for anything we need to spend within the next 3 years. If there's anything we need or want to spend beyond 3 years, then we invest that into our taxable brokerage account. The second sinking fund we categorize is the discretionary fund, and this is the sinking fund for any expenses we want, not need. This is for birthday parties, birthday presents, Halloween party, or any large expenses that are considered want or discretionary. Pretty self-explanatory, right? The third sinking fund we have, and this is a fun one, is the travel fund. We absolutely love to travel. We use Ally Bank to categorize our travel fund, and we have international travel and domestic travel. We like to travel to visit my family in California and my wife's family in Illinois. You might have places you want to visit, and that could cost you thousands of dollars. Just by contributing $100 every 2 weeks will save you $2,600 a year. $500 every 2 weeks will allow you to save up to $13,000. So ask yourself this: where would you travel to with $13,000 in your travel fund? Maybe $10,000, $5,000. So in order for you to achieve 50% savings rate, you should start with long-term retirement investment, taxable investment, and then your cash reserve. Before you even start working on the 50% savings rate, you should already be debt-free except your mortgage and have a fully funded emergency fund. Start with your employer-sponsored retirement plan like the 401k and TSP if it comes with employer match, and then work on maxing out your Roth IRA and HSA. After that, go back to working on your employer retirement plan up to the maximum contribution limit. Just by doing those steps, as a single income household member, you could be contributing up to $30,150 per year. If you're in a dual income household, then you could be contributing up to $60,300 every year. And if you make $100,000 a year in a single household, you're already saving 30% of your gross income towards retirement. Just be careful and don't contribute too much into retirement and tie up all of your net worth into long-term retirement. You want to have some taxable investment and cash reserves set aside that you have immediate access to. The last thing you want to do is borrowing from your retirement accounts. A healthy savings rate just for the long-term retirement investment should be anywhere between 20 and 30%, depending on your gross income. If you make less than $100,000 a year, then saving 30% of your gross income towards retirement might be too much for you. While my channel focuses on financial independence and retire early, I encourage you to focus on having fun by doing something you love. If you're still not clear on how to work on your 50% savings rate, you can contact us for a free 20-minute session by visiting firesidechat.com/coaching. So with that said, I appreciate you watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.